We just arrived up here at Norris Geyser Basin, and this little log cabin is a very well-stocked bookstore. I found a couple books on wildflowers of the Yellowstone area as well as the Grand Tetons. This little building here is a small museum that you go through in order to get to the Porcelain Basin.
I'm up here at Norris Basin, and I'm just coming through the museum area. And what an incredible view. This is just really unbelievable. So this is the Norris Geyser Basin, one of the most active volcanic areas in the world right now today. And I am standing on top of an overlook. I'm going to be heading down there, and this is just a sight to behold. Totally unbelievable. Okay, so we are here right now. Let's see what I'm going to be looking at. So it looks like we're going to see the Congress Pool, the Hurricane Vent, Porcelain Springs, Constant Geyser, the Whirligig Geyser, and the Pinwheel Geyser.
Well, here I go, down into the Norris Geyser Basin. It's hard to imagine a setting more volatile than Norris Geyser Basin. Norris is one of the hottest and most acidic of Yellowstone's hydrothermal areas. It is part of the world's largest active volcanoes. Many hot springs or fumaroles here have temperatures above the boiling point of 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Water fluctuation and seismic activity often change features. Norris is near the intersection of three major faults. One runs from the north, another runs from the west. These two faults intersect with the ring fracture from the Yellowstone caldera eruption 640,000 years ago. These conditions helped to create this dynamic geyser basin. Each year at Norris, new hot springs and geysers appear, and others become dormant. Geologic events trigger many of these changes. Even small earthquakes can alter hydrothermal behavior. Some transformations are brief, others last longer. Geysers and hot springs may also change. The chemistry of some of the Norris hot springs dissolves underground rock. In other Norris hot springs, hot water moves toward the surface, depositing dissolved minerals along subterranean passages and around the surface vents. Sometimes these deposits can choke off the flow of water. New features may be born as hot, pressurized water seeks a new route to surface. Clear pools can become muddy and boil violently, and some may temporarily become geysers. Geysers cease erupting or have altered cycles. New features appear. This sudden activity is known as thermal disturbance and can last a few days or more than a week. Gradually, most features return to normal. Why this happens is not fully understood. Norris has the greatest water chemistry diversity among Yellowstone's hydrothermal areas. Multiple underground hot water reservoirs exist here, and as their water levels fluctuate, concentrations of chloride, sulfate, iron, and arsenic change. Although Norris is known for its acid features, it also has alkaline hot springs and geysers. As underground water and chemistry shift suddenly, they could contribute to dramatic changes in minerals and pH. Further study will help unravel this mystery. Many of the colors you see here are evidence of thermophiles, heat-loving microorganisms, and their activity. You're going to see yellow, dark brown, rust, and red, emerald green, and dark blackish green. Thermophile communities change as water cools and chemistry changes at the edges of features and runoff channels. These dark brown, rust, and red colors abound in Norris and contain varying amounts of iron. Red-brown mats may also contain bacteria and archaea that help build the mats by metabolizing and depositing iron. These iron oxide deposits often contain high levels of arsenic. These communities form in water below 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Here you'll notice the milky blue pools that are saturated with silica, which is the primary component of glass. Norris's thermal waters contain the highest concentration of silica in Yellowstone. The yellow deposits here typically contain sulfur. Some thermophiles live in these areas because they use chemicals like sulfur for energy, sometimes creating hydrogen sulfide gas, the rotten egg odor. They form communities of mats and streamers that look like waving clumps of hair in the hottest acidic runoff, which measure between 140 degrees Fahrenheit and 181 degrees Fahrenheit. These emerald green mats color many of the runoff channels of hot springs and geysers here. Algae are the dominant life forms of these mats and contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that helps convert sunlight to energy. Some bacteria and archaea also grow in these mats, which form below 133 degrees Fahrenheit.
I don't see anybody else out here, probably because the trail is blocked, so I'm at my end of my loop. I'm gonna go get Ron's. Oh, this is the Pinwheel Geyser. Oh, there it is. And you see the little smokestacks coming up. That must be a whirly gig. Every once in a while in the distance, you see little geysers popping up. Really, it's just another world out here. Oh, I got geysers right behind me. Look at these. Okay, now I'm heading back up. I'm going to send Ron out. And me and Ron take turns on these trails. A lot of these trails, dogs are not allowed. So what we do is, while one goes and takes the hike, the other babysits Rocky, walks him around in the cool areas, have a few nibbles in the motorhome, and just chill. So I'm going to go and collect my hubby and let him come out here and do his photography for Ron's photo gallery. And I always look forward to see what shots he's got.
Again, right here, you're going to notice the milky blue pools that are saturated with silica.
So these right here are called fumaroles, high heat and low water. The hottest of Yellowstone's geothermal features are fumaroles, steam vents. fumaroles in Norris Geyser Basin have measured up to 280 degrees. A plentiful water supply would help cool these features. However, steam vents are usually found on hillsides or higher ground above the basin's water supply. They rapidly boil away what little water they contain, releasing steam and other gases forcefully from underground. Again, these are fumaroles. All these steam vents going up this hill, which I'm about to climb. I'm halfway up. Whew, out of breath. And that was the Porcelain Basin Trail. Highly recommend it. Oh, this is heading from Canyon to Fishing Bridge. The scenery is just unbelievable. You've got as far as you can see rolling meadows. It's just beautiful. And you see bison out there in the meadows. Just really beautiful. The scenery coming back from Fishing Bridge, and we're heading back up the canyon. The meadows are just totally unbelievable. Miles and miles of meadows. You've seen bison with their babies, herds of elk, white pelican, a lot of Canadian geese, and we still have yet to see any bear or moose. I'll tell you, it's quite a sight to see. Look at the scenery here. Isn't that unbelievable? Anyway, this is the Yellowstone River, and it starts right after Canyon, and it goes all the way down to Fishing Bridge. And this river is gigantic. It's very wide. It has big areas of rapids also. And again, look at all of this meadow. It's perfectly crazy.